Dear viewers, welcome to Tell It As It Is TV. We'll be bringing you ancient and modern true life stories with graphic images.
Please note that characters and some environs are fictional.
If you are here to see the part 1 and 2 of the story, please jump into our channel for catch-ups. Now let's continue with the part 3. The heavy downpour continues ceaselessly. It's a long, terrifying and mysterious night for Calvin as he stared at Chioma's lifeless body. The silence in the room is deafening. Panic coursed through his veins as he knelt beside her, shaking her limp shoulders. "Chioma, wake up, please," he begged, his voice cracking. But her unblinking eyes and the blood pooling around her head told him it was over. His breath came in ragged gasps as the gravity of what he had done sank in. He stumbled to his feet, his legs weak, his body shaking, as he made his way to the bathroom. Turning on the tap, he splashed cold water on his face, trying to steady his stumbling hands. Looking at his reflection in the mirror, he barely recognized the man staring back, eyes wide with fear, a face twisted with guilt. Before the arguments and fights which led to Chioma's death broke out, Kevin had ordered for their supper from the hotel management via intercom. In his frenzy, Calvin didn't hear the soft knock at the door. The hotel porter, carrying the tray of food Calvin had ordered earlier, noticed the door ajar. Curiosity mixed with concern as the staff hesitated before pushing the door open. "Hello? Sir? Is anyone here?" The staff called out tentatively as he walks into the suite. There was no one on site as he proceeds to the room. What greeted his eyes froze him in place. Chioma's body lay sprawled on the floor, blood staining the pristine white sheets of the nearby bed. The tray slipped from his hands, the dishes clattering on the floor. The crash jolted Calvin from his stupor. Hearing the noise from the bathroom, he dashed out, his heart pounding. There, standing in the middle of the room, was the hotel porter, his face pale and his eyes wide with shock. "What? What have you done, sir?" the porter stammered. Taking a step back, Calvin's mind raced. If this man told anyone, his life would be over. The thought of prison, of shame, of losing everything overwhelmed him. "Wait!" Calvin shouted, but the porter turned and bolted for the door. Instinct took over. Calvin lunged forward, grabbing the man before he could escape. They wrestled, the porter's desperate attempts to free himself only fueling Calvin's panic. "Please," the man cried. "Don't kill me. I have a pregnant wife and a son waiting." But Calvin was beyond reason. His hands tightened around the porter's throat as he growled. The man couldn't finish his sentence as Calvin's grip was so tight on his neck. He had suddenly become an animal. "You weren't supposed to see this." The man's struggles weakened, his body going limp in Calvin's grip. When it was over, Calvin stood over a second lifeless body, his chest heaving, his mind spinning. Even if a soothsayer had told him that he would be a murderer before nightfall, he would doubt and even bet on it. He may be a Casanova. He must have lived a rough life and broke numerous women's hearts in the past, but he had never laid a finger on any woman. A gentleman has suddenly turned into a murderer overnight. For a moment, he was paralyzed. 2 lives gone. What had he become? A monster? He snapped out of his daze, realizing he had to leave. The deed is done. Quickly, he tidied himself up, grabbed his wallet and phone, and slipped out of the room. His pulse racing, he made his way down the hallway, keeping his head low and avoiding eye contact. At the reception desk, the concierge smiled politely. "Good evening, sir. I hope you are enjoying your stay." Kevin forced a smile and a nod, mumbling something unintelligible as he edged towards the exit. Just as he thought he was in the clear, the receptionist frowned. "Excuse me, sir," she called. "The porter who went up to your room hasn't returned," glancing at the wall clock. "It's been almost 30 minutes. Do you mind waiting while we check?" His stomach churned. I am in a rush," he stammered, his voice unsteady. The receptionist's suspicion grew. "Security!" she called into the walkie-talkie. "Please head to room 409 immediately. There may be an emergency." "Copy that," the security responded from his duty post. Calvin's heart sank. He turned, ready to make a run for it, but 2 burly security guards stepped in front of him. "Sir, we need you to stay here until we confirm everything is alright." Minutes later, a voice cracked over the walkie-talkie. "This is Security Malcolm. There are 2 dead bodies in the room. One is a woman and the other is our porter. Please call the police." The words hit Calvin like a hammer. He didn't resist as the guards grabbed his arms, pinning him in place until the police arrived. The scenario attracts attention in the hotel as the hall was filled with customers, with Calvin and Chiama's friends inclusive, who were their groomsmen and bridesmaids. The police put Calvin in handcuffs as he's being escorted into the police van under the heavy downpour, but Calvin couldn't feel the downpour on his skin. The trial was swift. The evidence against Kevin was overwhelming. The prosecution painted him as a man driven by rage, who killed his wife in a fit of anger and then silenced the witness to cover up a murder. As the judge pronounced the sentence, death by hanging, Kevin stood motionless, his face devoid of emotion. The courtroom buzzed with murmurs, but in his mind, all he could see was Chiama's face. What went wrong? He asked himself, trying to clear the word, but he couldn't get an answer. In the cold, sterile confines of his cell, Kevin was left to grapple with the weight of his actions. His fall from grace was complete, a tragic ending to a life once filled with promises.
Moral lesson. The story highlights the devastating consequences of dishonesty, unchecked emotions, and uncontrolled anger, emphasizing the importance of transparency in relationships, self-reflection, and managing past mistakes. It serves as a cautionary tale about how impulsive decisions, unresolved personal flaws, and failing to manage one's temper can create a ripple effect of tragedy, underscoring the need for accountability, emotional control, and humility in our actions. Please share your thoughts in the comment section. It will encourage us know if we are doing a good job or not. Do well to subscribe to our channel. It will help us stay relevant. Thanks for watching. Like and share.